morning, boys and girls. It's Miss Lisa, the art teacher. Welcome back to my table of art. How have you been? Welcome back to school. Some of you are back in the classroom. Some of you are at home watching me on your computers or laptops or TVs. But either way, we're together, and that's a good thing. I miss being with you, but we're going to be together soon, so don't worry. They have some good news on the horizon that's going to make everybody better again, and we can all be together and work on our art as a group in a classroom. Remember those days? Well, they're going to be coming back soon, so just hang on, and it'll be really soon. Just hang on. But for now, let's think about this month. This is a really exciting month. There's so much happening. There's some great holidays coming up like Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa. And guess what else is coming? I'll give you a hint. It falls from the sky and it's white. Did you say snow? Yes, indeedy. Snow and the cold weather are coming. What do you think of that? I'm not a big fan of the cold weather. I prefer the sun. But I do like the snow, and I do like playing in the snow. But the snow is so cold, I need to protect my hands. What do you think I could use to protect my hands when I'm playing out in the snow? My mom has a cooking glove that she uses when she takes hot things out of the oven. You think I could use one of those pot holders that you put on your hands? That might work, but then I can't bend real well. They're usually stiff. Did somebody say mittens? Yes, indeedy. I could put mittens on my hands and keep them nice and warm, and I could still make a snowball and throw it. I won't throw it at you, so don't you worry. Mittens. I can put mittens on my hands. So let me ask you something. I like the hot weather. So let me see. If it's hot out, what kind of colors do you think make you feel hot and warm? What colors are like hot colors? Well, let's think of like the sunshine. What colors are in the sun? Orange. Sometimes at a beautiful sunset, the sun looks orange. Yellow, always bright yellow in the sky. And sometimes even red. So those are like our warm colors. They make us feel so warm and cuddly. But when we're out there in that cold snow, what colors could you think of that remind you of the cold of the snow? Ooh. How about blue? Blue gives me a cool feeling because sometimes when the sun reflects on the ice, it's like a blue color comes from there. I don't know how that happens, but it's beautiful. So I kind of think of blue when I think of a cool, cold color. So guess what? We're going to work with both those colors. Warm, our red, our yellow, and our orange color to keep us nice and warm like our mittens. And we're going to work with a blue color, the cool color, like the ice or the snow. So look what we're going to make together today. We're going to make a mitten. And notice the mitten is all the warm colors. And that's because these mittens keep our hands nice and warm. And it's hanging on a clothesline because I was out all day playing in the snow and they got wet. So now they need to hang to dry. But notice the background color is a nice cool blue, and I've mounted it on a dark blue piece of construction paper to finish off the project and make it look more professional and much better to look at. So this is what we're making today. So if you'd like to get started, let's get all our materials together. Okay? Let me put my little mitten over there. I have sent everybody one piece of blue construction paper. This is what we're using at the end, where we mount our final project to make it look finished and much more pleasing to look at. So I'm going to put this up here. I'm also going to send you tissue paper in all those warm colors. You're going to get some orange tissue paper You're going to get some red tissue paper. You're going to get some yellow tissue paper. Here's some yellow. And you might even get some pink tissue paper. That's still a little in the warm family. It's kind of like borderline, but it's still a nice warm color. So I'll put our tissue paper up here too. You're also going to get this very flimsy, shiny kind of paper. It's actually photo paper, and it's easy for us to paint with watercolors. It kind of just slides right over this paint. And if we don't have watercolors, not to worry. We could use anything. We could use crayons. We could use pastels. We could use markers. We could use tempera paint, finger paint, anything you want, so long as this part is blue. So I'm going to put this up here to wait. Then you're going to get another piece of paper. This is a very stiff cardboard. It's called cardstock. This is what we want to put our mitten on because we want it to stay stiff on the clothesline. And this is our template for our mitten, so we know how to draw the mitten. And the last two things we have are our clothesline, which is just a little cord. And we must hang it with a clothespin. I forgot what this was called. A clothespin. Okay. So, I think the first thing we should do, if we're painting, is paint the background. And the reason I say that is because we want it to be dry when we're ready to hang our mitten. So, you also, I forgot, if you want to put snowflakes in the background, we're going to need a white crayon because we're going to make the snowflakes in the background, and then when we paint over it with the watercolor, the wax from the crayons will let the water roll right off of it, and the snowflakes will shine right through on our background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pencil, and first I want you to come down. I want you to come down and see what I'm doing, okay? So I need my helping hand to come help me. Helping hand, can you come help me? Sure, I'm here and I'm ready. Oh, isn't he nice? That's my helping hand. Say hi to my helping hand. Hi, kids. How you doing? I'm a helping hand. He's my helping hand, and he's going to bring the screen down so you can see what I'm doing on my desk. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm the good guy. I'm going to do that. Ready? I'm going to bring it down. Okay, he's going to bring it down. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, here I go. All right. Can you do it? Yeah, I'm doing it. So helpful, isn't he? Okay. I did it. Did you see me? I did it. Okay, helping hand. Go sit down. Thank you. All right. So now, here's that shiny paper that we're going to start with. And I'm going to use a pencil to make an X in the corner. But I'm going to go really light with my pencil because I don't want that to shine through, but I need to see where it is. Just an X. I don't know if you could see that. And then I'm going to put a line right through my X to make like a star. I don't know if you could see that. So what I need is to take my crayon and color over that, but I use that as a guide so I know what to color. And I'm going to make a couple of them throughout the background of my mitten. And my white crayon, I'm going to color nice and hard and thick snowflakes right behind him, right on top of my drawing. X marks the spot, and another line right through. I'm going to show you how I'm doing that. Let me get out my little whiteboard. Hang on one second. It's right here under my desk. And I'm going to show you how we're going to draw that snowflake. And it's oh so easy, so hang on. All right, here's my whiteboard. You're going to make an X because X marks the spot. And then you're just going to put a line right through your X. And you see that nice star shape we have? That's our snowflake. So we're going to put that snowflake on this white shiny paper. And I'm going to use my pencil very lightly because I really don't want to see the pencil marks, but I need to see where to make my snowflake with my white crayon. So I'm just going to color right over them. Right over these soft pencil mark X's. And the line right through it. But make the crayons nice and thick so when the colored watercolor goes right over it, you'll see the beautiful snowflake shining through. Because sometimes if you make it too thin, you won't really notice it as much. And put as many snowflakes as you want. put whatever size you want to put on. The more the merrier. Okay, so I'm done with my snowflakes. It's white on white, so you're really not going to see it. Okay, that's my little dog down there. She's sitting waiting. Now I'm going to take my watercolors out, and I'm going to use the cool color. Do you remember which one was the cool color? Was it the red? No, that reminds me of a fire. Red, that's hot. Was it orange? No, that reminds me of a beautiful sunset. So that's warm. Was it yellow? No, the sun is nice and yellow, bright yellow, and that's warm also. I think it was the blue, right? Yes, it was our blue color that we want to work with now. So let me get my water going and wake up my blue paint. Wake up, blue paint, we need you. And I'm just going to start painting over my background. Look, see how my little star where the crayon was came right through? We got a beautiful snowflake there. And if you decide you want to add another cool color, well, purple is also a cool color. You could add purple to your background. Would you like to do that with me? Sure. Let's wake up the purple paint, because that's also a cool color. And look how beautiful those colors go together. They're so pretty. I love blue and purple together. You can mix them. You could do them individually. Look at all my great snowflakes shining through. Don't they look beautiful? That's the wax on the crayon, because the wax on the crayon makes the water roll right off of it. And we want to color the whole thing, so let's get all the edges. Good job. You guys are doing a great job. This part is fun, isn't it? And if you're doing finger paints, that's great too. If you're doing colored crayons or colored pencils, you could just use a white crayon to draw your snowflakes and just color around them. Okay, now I'm going to go a little faster than you just so I can complete the project and you can get started on your project. Okay, so I'm going to close this up because I'm done coloring. And what I'd like to do is I'm going to put it over here to dry, but I'm going to put it on a piece of cardstock. See, it's curling a little bit. I'm not worried about that because we can always glue it down when we're done. We could glue it down on our blue construction paper. So now I would like to take out my mitten and that cardstock. Remember the cardstock I was telling you about? That's the stiffer piece of paper that we want to eventually put our mitten on, because we want to work on that. Let me just dry up some of these wet spots. Okay. All right, so here I have my mitten on a piece of very thin paper, but I want my mitten to be over here. So this is going to be an easy way for you to get this mitten transferred onto this hard paper. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to color in these lines of my mitten. See how hard? I'm going to press really hard and I'm going to color all around this mitten. And you do the same, and don't worry about going over the lines. Just try to stay as much as you can in the lines with your pencil. This is such an easy way to transfer. That word is transfer, meaning take it from one side and put it to the other here, or take the image from one area to another. Repeat it over. See how I'm just coloring around these lines? I'm using my pencil. You must use a pencil for this. Press as hard as you can and just go all around these lines. Okay, now I'm done. I don't know if you could see all my pencil all around this mitten. I'm going to now take my mitten and I'm going to turn it upside down on top of that cardstock. And I could see the mitten through the paper. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pencil and put it a little bit on an angle. I'm not going to hold it up and down. I'm going to hold it on an angle. And I'm just going to rub over those lines that I just made on my mitten. I don't have to stay in the lines. I'm rubbing right across. Don't worry about being neat with this. Try to hold your paper in place. Excuse me. See how I'm doing this? And you're going to be so excited when you see what's underneath here. See what we're doing? We're just rubbing away. Now that I've rubbed all the areas on the other side, I'm going to lift this piece off. And what do we have behind? Look at that! I have a faint outline of the mitten. So now I'm just going to take my pencil and trace where the lines are and draw my mitten. Because I have a nice outline of my, and I didn't have to use a scissor. Not yet. What do you think of that? Pretty good, right? Okay, now the fun part starts. Let's get out all our warm tissue paper, the warm colors that we've chosen, that I sent you. You all should have some warm tissue paper. And here you have a choice. You can make an artistic decision. You could decide to either cut your tissue paper and put neat little squares on your mitten, or you could use your tearing skills and just tear little pieces. I kind of like the way it looks when it's just torn pieces of tissue paper. So that's what I'm going to use. But try to make them stay about the size of a quarter. Don't make them any bigger than that, because then you won't be able to mix all the colors really nice. So I'm just going to start ripping my orange paper first. And I'm just placing them on my mitten. Not that they're going to stay there. I'm just ripping, tearing, get my paper all ready. Because once all my tissue paper is ready, then I'm going to glue it all down on my mitten. This one's a little too big. I'm going to cut that in half. Now I'm going to get my red tissue paper. Remember, red is another warm color. Orange is warm. Red is warm. So how do we tear? We hold one side and we just tear towards us. One is held steady and the other one we rip away. One hand we hold steady and the other hand is used to rip it away. Okay? I think I sent everybody 4 pieces of tissue paper, one color of each. Orange, red, yellow, and pink. So I see that it's definitely enough. Everybody's going to have enough tissue paper for each project. So I'm happy about that. You see how I'm covering it so much already? I still didn't touch my pink one yet. I might not even use the pink. I think I might just use the yellow, the orange, and the red. Okay, well, here's all my tissue paper ready to rumble. So I'm going to put all the other tissue paper away so it doesn't get destroyed. And I'm just going to push this all to the side. And now it's time to start. So what I'm going to do, you can use either a glue stick or you can use liquid glue. We need to apply all this tissue paper to our glove. So if you're ready, let's get started. Watch what I'm going to do. And you're going to say, what is Miss Lisa doing? And you know what? I'm going to use my liquid glue only because you'll be able to see it. Okay. So now, I'm just going to start. I'm doing a little bit at a time. I don't want to do a whole big spot because I don't want it to dry up on me. See my finger? I just want to spread the glue. Yeah, it's going a little bit over the sides. I don't care because I'm going to cut the mitten out on the line. So I'm not worried about the glue going over or the tissue paper going over the lines because that's not going to matter. That's not going to matter when I'm cutting out the mitten. There we go. Okay, so now we just start. Let's just start applying our tissue paper. And you're saying, oh, Miss Lisa, your tissue paper's over the side. Don't worry about it. You know why? We're going to cut this mitten out when all this glue is dry. So all these extra pieces that are hanging over the side, they're going to be gone. So don't worry. So start with your glue. Make sure your pieces are down. And let's just start adding to our mitten. All your nice warm colors. This might be a little messy. You might get glue all over your fingers, but you know what? That's what art's all about, being messy and having fun. That's the best part, I think. Not everybody likes to get their hands messy. I'm one that does. And don't be afraid if you leave some empty spots. That's okay. Makes it even more interesting. I'm going to add more glue because I'm going to go up around the finger here, or maybe I'll just finish this section first. Add a little red. Add a little orange. I think I should use all four. I should have used my pink one because I think I might run out because I'm putting all my colors so close. So definitely use all the tissue that I sent you, okay? And let's spread the glue with our finger. Now when this glue dries, this is what I love about the glue that I use. It dries clear. You won't see this purple color. It's a really cool glue. I like to use it so you can see what I'm doing. When I use the white glue, you can't tell what I'm doing because it's white, right? And you know what I do with the tissue to make it easy to pick up? I just put a tiny, teensy, tiny dab of spit on the tip of my finger, and it picks up the tissue paper. And I don't have to get this finger messy or sticky. And it works. And it's super cool. This mitten's coming out great. What do you think? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Putting all our warm colors down on my mitten. That's going to keep me warm outside when I make my snowballs and throw them. I'm going to even make a snowman when it snows. I love snowmen more than anything. I might have to tear some more tissue papers because I'm putting my tissue paper so close. You see what I'm doing? I'm overlapping my tissue paper. That's when I put one on top of the other. You can do that too. There's all different ways to do this. You could separate the tissue papers, leaving white in between. You can put them on top of each other. Either way, I'm sure it's going to be absolutely beautiful because you guys are so talented and so creative. Look at this. Glue on my finger. You know what I like? When it dries and you peel it off, it feels like you're peeling your skin off. It's so cool. You know what I'm talking about, right? Isn't that cool? Get some yellow over here. Ah! A little more orange over here. I love these warm colors. Remind me of the summertime. Summer seems like a vague memory. Did we even have a summer this year? I don't remember. I don't remember a summer. And now winter's here. But I do like the snow. I don't like driving in the snow, but I do like the snow. Whoops. I think I need just to get a little piece of tissue paper. I think I'll rip the yellow one. I think yellow would be perfect right there. Uh-oh. See what I mean? I'm getting the tissue paper sticking all to me. See? Ah! Okay, let me rip a little bit more yellow. That's why I like to have the tissue paper ready. Makes it, because now everything's sticking to me. Here we go. Oh, I think I got an empty spot. I'll put this little piece right there. Okay. So, now, let me make sure it's down. I'm going to put a little piece right here, just to make sure this stays down. There we go. Looking good, right? This is great. Okay, let me bring you back up. I need my buddy to come help me. I'm here. I'm here. You need me? I'm here. Here I am. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Can you please put the screen back up? Okay, here I go. Because I'm the helping hand. Remember me? I'm the helping hand. There he goes. Oh, he's having a little struggle. Thank you, Mr. Helping Hand. You're welcome. It was my pleasure. So good. Such a good guy, right? Let me fix my screen here. All right, so now we're working on that heavy cardstock, and we're going to let our mittens dry So let's put those aside. And we have our watercolor drying. Let me see how my watercolor is doing. Well, it looks like it's almost dry, but look how pretty that came out. We have the beautiful cool colors of the blue and purple. Purple's also a cool color. And the crayon created our snowflakes, and they're shining through because the water rolled right off of the wax that's on or in the crayons. So now what I want to do is I want to take this and I want to center it onto this blue sheet of paper. So I'm going to eyeball it where the center is, and for this one I'm going to use my glue stick. So I'm going to get the helping hand. Oh, here! All right, I didn't even call for you yet. I'm ready. He's ready to help me out, and he's going to bring you back down to my table, okay? Oh, let me do it. All right, do it. There we go. He's so helpful. Okay, so let me get my mittens out of the way while they dry, and we're going to glue the paper here. Now it's still a little wet, and that's okay. Put that here. I'm going to turn it upside down, get my glue stick, and I'm going to make a little dot on all the corners, so I make sure that the corners are going to stick down. And then I'm going to make an X right across, maybe even one more line, just like a snowflake. Now you can't see it because it's my clear glue and it's my glue stick. And now I'm going to center it on the blue construction paper and glue it down. Now if this was dry, oh, it's a little dry, so I can press. Normally I would wait, but I want you to see what I'm doing. Okay, so let's come back up. Yes, he helped me. Oh, I did it! He's so helpful. Okay, so this is our background, and it's mounted on the blue cool color construction paper. That's our background and our frame. And we want to create a clothesline going across. So here's where the cord comes in. And what we're simply going to do is we're just going to glue the back end, the two ends, to the back of our construction paper. So we're going to let it go across here, but then we're going to glue it on the back. Now, you can glue it, you could tape it, you could staple it. I'm going to tape it because I want to finish it for the project that we're working with today, so you could see the finished product. Not wait for this to dry, okay? There, you see, I just taped it so we can finish the project together. So here's the clothesline. I'm going to put my clothespin on the clothesline for now, and we're going to wait to finish our glove, okay? So far, so good. Now, my glove is, my mitten, not my glove, my mitten is still wet. This glue takes a little bit of time to dry. But once it dries, I'm going to cut my mitten out, and I could see the lines right through. You could see the outline of the mitten right through. So not to worry that I won't be able to see it. Now I'm going to do this now, which I wouldn't normally do because it's still wet, but I want to finish this project with you, okay? So just let's come down so you can watch me cut my mitten out, okay? But I wouldn't do this normally. I would let this dry first. Okay, so we're back here. I'm going to get out my scissor, and I'm going to start cutting along the line of my mitten, okay? And I can see my line right through the tissue paper and the glue. And you see what I mean about the edges? They're coming right off those extra tissue edges. So not to worry that I went over the line, because it's going to leave a nice, neat line when I cut it with this scissor. See, all the excess tissue paper that was hanging over is now gone. Now the hard part is trying to finish cutting this. I have no place to hold it. Ugh. This is all wet with the glue. Almost done, almost done. Look at how nice I'm doing. Look at this, coming out beautiful. Okay, it's wet still, but all the more reason to be on a clothesline, right? Okay, time to hang up the wet mitten. This one is literally a wet mitten. All right, we got our clothespin ready, and we've got our mitten. So let's hang it up to dry. I'm going to clip it on with my clothespin pin. And there you have it, boys and girls. Whoops, sorry. My winter mitten with my warm colors and my cool snowflake background. Oops, I gotta hang that up. And I might have to make my clothesline a little tighter. All right, so what do you think? Did you have fun making your mitten? And the warm colored mitten to keep our hands warm against the cool colors of the snow and the snowflakes. Now, aren't you looking forward to the snow and wanting to put on your mittens and make a snowball and a snowman? I know I am. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this. Hang it up when it's dry. Don't rush it like I did today. Let everything dry when it needs to. And it won't be so heavy either. So, be good. Have a good day. Enjoy your art project. Stay healthy. Stay warm. And I will see you next week. Okay? So this is Miss Lisa, your art teacher. Yes, yes, my friend wants to say goodbye. Bye, guys. Bye. I'll see you next week. I'm going to help again. Yes, you're going to help me again. Don't worry. Oh, helping hand. Yes, you are my helping hand. Isn't he so sweet? Okay, so we both say goodbye. And we'll see you next week. And until then, keep art in your life. Makes you happy. Brings a smile to your face. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, yes, yes. They know that you're happy. All right, guys. This is Miss Lisa, your art teacher, saying ciao for now from my table of art. Bye, bye, bye. Okay, they get the hint. Bye, guys. See you next week.